I apologize. I was explaining about Pro Tinker Toys, and I think my video reached its limits and timed out on me. So I'm going to do a second part here to continue. I apologize about that. So, like I was saying about Pro Tinker Toys, they are a lot of fun to watch. They do live streams of their business. They set it right up in their office, and they help you with anything you need, and you could watch how their business is run the day in, day out of it. They do that live stream for 3 or 4 hours, like three, two, three, 4 times a week, and you can pretty much slide um, your bar when you're watching the videos to go to where someone's actually talking to the camera. Otherwise, an hour can go by and they're just doing work on their computer or whatever, or nobody's even there. So just run through it. You can run through a whole video, a 3 or 4 hour video in just a few minutes and get to the good things. And there's a lot to learn. Brian Young, he'll give you info and some education on the history of slot cars throughout his show, and he does other videos where he gives you a good detailing on what to look for in slot cars, much more than I can here. So definitely check that out. Um, Now I mentioned the big three are Slot Car News, Dave Kennedy, MP3 Slot Cars, MP Slot Car Space, and that Slot Car guy down in Australia. And they are fantastic. And I think everybody who's watching me has already seen them. So I'm not even going to explain them. And if you haven't, if it must be your first day in slot cars, if I'm the first one you're seeing. Also, there's Sunday Slot Cars, which is a small business in Canada, family run, and they put out some interesting videos, as well as Johnny Hobby, which are some of the best, funniest videos I've ever seen, and they are great. I really recommend Johnny Hobby. There's Marty Ford, which he's a newcomer to this, but he's very informative. We're learning with him as he's learning. Um, there's John Schaefer, and he's also a newcomer, and he delves into the problems that you encounter because slot cars are not all just fun. There's a lot of work and tinkering involved, and he has these problems like we all do, and he helps us figure out how to find the solution to these problems. So I highly recommended him. And there's Johnny S in Great Britain, and he is very good at what he does. Very informative videos. He went to Le Mans, um, the race, that 24-hour slot car race, and reported that all through the night and day, and as well as many other things that he works on. Um, there's some very highly informative videos out there made by Slot Car Mayhem. I would definitely recommend him if you need to learn about Carrera Digital and the system and how to wire your track and things like that and problems that come up. Definitely Slot Car Mayhem. Conquest Racing Club. He delves into the fine details of the slot cars that I just look at and say, wow, that's beautiful. That's just a beautiful car. But he'll point out every little nook and cranny and area, front, back, upside down, everywhere on a slot car and point out what it is and how he enjoys it and what it means. And so that's a great place to go. There's Home Racing World and the Mary Boozer RC, which now he's very much into other things, but he had some earlier videos on slot cars. And when I first got involved in this last year, back into this, um, that's where I went and learned a lot of stuff through his slot car videos. But you'll have to search through and pick out those because there aren't too many that he does now. Um, Now there's some other ones. Johnny's Workshop, Steve Neal, Greg Gaub with the Worldwide Slot Car Chat. Every week or so, they have a chat that they set up, and all the stuff they talk about, I'm going to be honest, is way over my head. I have no idea what 90% of what they're talking about, but they're heavily into it. And maybe one day I'll be there, but I watch whenever I can, and I try to learn, pick up things here or there. You're not going to pick up everything, but if you're willing, you could pick up things, and that's a place to check out. As well as Boone Slot Car Garage. He tinkers with a lot of things. He gets into HO and 132nd and a lot of scenic things, and he's very informative. There's Cleve Tech in Great Britain, I believe, and he gets into a lot of the technical things that another one, to be honest, I'm not there yet. But I know it's there for me, and if the internet always stays where it is, I'll one day maybe able to figure out what he's talking about, but he's there. There's Slot Car Azing, Niemas Race Cars, Niemas Race Cars, and Fast Sports, and these all they're creative with scenery. Fast Sports is fantastic, great making scenery and just really beautiful items, beautiful slot cars, and I highly recommend his channel. And there's some others that occasionally you'll put out some videos that are very helpful and informative. There's DW5555, and he's heavily into the Carrera 124 scale, and so he'll show you some of the tricks and gadgets that you can do with 124 scale cars and helpful hints. There's Classic and Slot Car, Foothills scale slot cars, NorCal slot car scene, Slot Car Fun, Slot Grand Prix. There's Zoskinzo, Zoskinso. There's Mad Capromanian, who I believe is in Canada, and he'll show some slot car videos. And then if you want some pure just racing action, there's TNT Motorsports Complex with Big T Arnold, Arnhold. He has, occasionally he'll put up a 50-lap race, and he'll broadcast the whole race so you could see it over the Carrera digital system. There's Sam Kern, who has an enormous collection of Carrera slot cars, and he'll display them and show how they run against ghost cars, and so you can see how cars actually run on the track. And there's also First State Racing Club. So that'll do it, I believe. And I hope I've been informative in some way to help you make a choice, and maybe to encourage you, if you're a fan of one scale, to look into some other scales. There's a lot of fun, a lot of interesting things, especially if you have children, young children, grandchildren, that you're trying to keep this hobby going. Support your local hobby store, support your, whatever hobby store you like to support, and keep it all going, because we're all in this together. All right. So this is Pop Racer saying have a great day.